And go to try and chase down their teammate up front. These are the kind of decisions that need to be made. No decision making really for the Lidl-Trek squad. 100% in for Edward Theuns here as Jakob Sudefist continues to press on and continues to stretch it thin as best he can. XTS Astana squad of Alessandro Romele, the 21-year-old Italian rider, and we're down to 1,800 metres remaining and down to just a handful of seconds. The final push. They might just get on inside the final kilometre here, the way things are going. But are there riders coming from behind? They're going to continue. They're starting to wind up for a sprint behind, and that could be all that it takes to close it down.
Israel Premier Tech, so Hugo Hofstetter must be their third wheel of the Israel Premier Tech team. So it's been a heap of teams sort of sitting, waiting as long as possible, trying to close this gap at the very last second and launch their sprinter. And Israel Premier Tech are now riding themselves onto the back of the leading group inside 1.5 kilometres to go.
Well, it's 1 kilometre for the leaders up front. It's about 1,100 metres for the chasers behind. It's that finally poised, and they're about to latch on, literally, as they arrive into the final, 750 metres of the day remaining. Sudefist and Vangalufa have pushed hard to try and ensure a situation that this group would at least contest for the win today. Edward Theuns, sitting in 4th place, is still nicely placed ahead of the sprint. How much energy has he got left after a long day in the break? They're all starting to crowd around and try and move up, and Robbie Case is trying to put himself into a perfect and prime position, but the junction is made, albeit the amount of riders coming up is relatively short. Sudefist goes to try and stretch it out one more time. We're coming into the conclusion of the affair, and it's knitting up, but inside the final 300 metres, it's going to be the breakaway that could contest this one. Edward Theuns is going for glory here, and will he have the legs to hang on? Well, Sudefist is trying to present him into prime position, and he's coming off his wheel is Lamperti. Lamperti coming for glory. Will Lamperti get there? I think Theuns hung on. What about that? An absolutely sensational conclusion. Almost a big bunch sprint, but not quite, because the break hung on at the conclusion of Bredene Koksijde Classic, and that is going to be a record average speed, and that is going to be a victory for the Lidl-Trek squad. Edward Theuns gets up and converts. Some wonderful effort, not just from himself, but also from his teammate Sudefist, and glory for the Lidl-Trek squad. He can hardly believe it. What a fight and what a battle. And ultimately, it goes to the attackers out.